This is a budget gaming PC that I'm going to build and give away for free this holiday season to one of you lucky subscribers, if you live locally to me, of course, because shipping is way too much for me to handle at this moment, maybe in the future, but right now, only local giveaways. But if you want to know how to enter this giveaway, stay till the end of this video.
This video is sponsored by me, so if you enjoy the content and you're looking for a gaming computer and you live locally to me, then click on the description below and check out the computers I have for sale. Now let's get into the content. Hey, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to the most underrated tech channel. And in today's video, I'll be building this little budget gaming PC with some spare parts I've collected this year to give away to a lucky person locally, as it is the holiday seasons after all. Of course, it is not going to be the best PC out there because I am a small YouTube channel and I'm also very broke. But this will still be a pretty good entry-level system for esports titles at high to medium settings, as well as some older AAA titles with a playable frame rate. First up, I got this little combo of a CPU, mobile RAM, and a stock cooler. For the CPU, it is a 4 cores, 4-threaded 4th Gen i5-4590 CPU, which has a base clock of 3.3 GHz and a max turbo of 3.7 GHz, which is cooled by the Intel stock cooler. The motherboard that's inside this combo is a B85M E45 motherboard, which got 4 RAM slots for easier RAM upgrade path, and the motherboard supports up to an i7-4770K, which I would recommend upgrading to if you are able to grab one for cheap, as in 2023, 8 threads makes a whole lot of difference. Then as for the RAM, this combo only came with 2 sticks of 2GB DDR3 memory clocked at 1333 MHz. And for this combo, I would say it's worth at least 40 Canadian dollars. But let's go back to the RAM a little bit, because as we all know, 4GB is not enough for anything in 2023, so I had to add this kit of pretty rare LED RAM kit of 8GB into the combo for a total of 12GB. And let's just say this kit of RAM is worth at least 10 Canadian dollars. For a storage drive, I found this used ADATA SU800 512GB SATA SSD in my studio. Although it is not a 1TB drive, it was able to hold the Windows install as well as every program and game that was featured in today's benchmark section. Plus, this is actually a really good quality drive, as it's got a read and write speed of 560 and 520 megabytes per second. And it's got DRAM cache built in. So I would say this is worth about 30 Canadian quid used. Now for the thing that did not get mined with, the RX 574GB. I got this from a trade-in PC a while ago from its first and only user. As for how I know it's not mined with, is because all I did was data vac it and replace the thermal paste, instead of having to replace a fan or deep clean it with a toothbrush or having any thermal pads replaced. But with that said, it's a really good solid budget entry level card in 2023, and I would say that it's great for esports games at max settings at 100 plus FPS, as long as paired up with a more modern CPU in 2023. So I will value this at around 40 Canadian bucks. Finally, for the case and power supply, I bought this Allied Gaming MATX mesh front PC case, which comes with 2 ARGB fans plus a hub, a 90mm black fan in the back, and a 550W generic OEM ugly ass looking cable power supply that does the job. Also, it comes with a tinted acrylic side panel. The case power supply combo, which are brand new, were shipped to my doors from Amazon for just 75 Canadian monies. In my opinion, for that price is actually pretty competitive, in Canada at least, because it does have RGB and a mesh front, but it barely has any room for cable management in the back, and it barely just fits the RX 570 GPU. Plus, the metal quality, I would say it's in between a Dell Office OEM computer case and a Coke can. I know I said I'll say how to enter at the end of the video, but here it is. And I only have 4 simple rules, which are the following. First, only enter if you are able to meet in Vancouver, Burnaby, Richmond, Surrey, or Coquitlam. Second, you must be subscribed to my YouTube channel and leave a like as well as comment down below in this video. Third, the account names and comments must be PG. And lastly, you have to message me on the Facebook listing with a screenshot of your comment as well as a screenshot of your subscription to my YouTube channel. With the rules said, this giveaway will run from today, which is November 16th, 2023, all the way to November 30th, 2023. Then the day after that, I will be drawing the winner and post it on YouTube Shorts, which will be a pinned comment under this video. and I will message you on Facebook Marketplace and give you up to 48 hours to respond, or else I'll be drawing a new winner, as well as making another short. Now let's get into the benchmarks. And first up, I tested in 3D Mark TimeSpy and it was able to achieve a score of 3,211. Not too bad of a score for a free computer if I say so myself. Then for the games, I first tested in CS2 with the low preset. With FSR disabled, this system was able to get an average of 89 FPS and a 1% low of 42 FPS. With CS2 is a pretty CPU demanded game, so if you upgrade it to an i7-4770 or 4790 CPU, you'll be able to have a smoother playing experience for sure. Next up, I ran a built-in benchmark for GTA 5 at the high settings, but with only effects AA and no MSAA. This system was able to crank out an average of 94 FPS. But you should only expect those FPS in like campaign mode. If you're playing online or have mods or playing in those private servers, you should expect around a 10 to 20 FPS decrease. After that, I tested in Apex Legends, and at low settings with no anti-aliasing, this system was able to achieve an average of 101 FPS with a 1% low of 53 FPS. Which means that if you upgrade it to a newer CPU, you could probably turn up the setting to medium and get a pretty playable FPS and 60 plus FPS in 1% lows. This time around, I decided to test Fortnite at the performance mode with max settings, and this PC was able to achieve an average of 110 FPS and a 1% low of 9 FPS. I'm not so sure if it's the PC's fault or the game's fault, since this game tends to always give pretty bad 1% lows on every single hardware I've ever tested. Plus, when I was testing, I only ever felt the stutter maybe like once or twice. Other than that, the gameplay was very smooth and I was able to score a couple of kills. Next up, I tested in Call of Duty Warzone, and at the minimum graphics preset with Ultra Performance Mode FSR 2.1 enabled, this system was only able to crank out an average of 58 FPS with a 1% low of 34 FPS. It is just a little bit shy of 60 FPS, but it means that if you play regular multiplayer mode, it should be able to maintain a 60 plus FPS average. And finally, for the last game I tested on this system was Cyberpunk 2077, and with the lowest possible settings and FSR 2.1 turned to Ultra Performance Mode, this system was able to crank out an average of 71 FPS with a minimum of 30 FPS. Although this result seems pretty good on paper, it is from the built-in benchmark, so don't really expect that high level of FPS when you're in a busier area in the game. With the rules and performance out of the way, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and good luck to anyone that decide to enter in this giveaway. And while you wait, click on the video that's up on the screen right now to see a whole LA Express gaming PC under $700.